Have you ever noticed how your home just doesn't feel as peaceful or welcoming as it used to? Maybe the rooms seem darker, the space more cluttered, and that comfortable feeling somehow slipped away. You might think it's just the way things are as we get older, but what if that's not the whole story? Turns out, small changes in how we arrange and care for our living space can make a world of difference. Sometimes the things we overlook have the biggest impact. In this video, I'm going to share 10 simple yet powerful Danish secrets that have helped countless seniors transform their homes into true havens of calm and joy. Stick around, because by the end, you'll discover easy ways to bring light, warmth, and peace back into your everyday life, right where it matters most, your home. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Secret 1. Keep your space bright and airy. Have you ever walked into your living room on a sunny morning only to find it feels a little dim and heavy, as though someone had pulled a gray filter over the day? Many of us chalk that sensation up to getting older. Our eyes tire more quickly, we choose to sit farther from the window, and a lamp that once felt cozy now seems downright gloomy. Yet that dull, cave-like feeling isn't an inevitable part of aging. It's often just a sign that our homes are starving for light and fresh air. So here's the question that flips the usual thinking on its head. What if the sluggish mood, the afternoon yawns, even the trouble finding your reading glasses, aren't about age at all but about lighting? Researchers at the National Institutes of Health report that people over 65 who spend at least 2 hours a day in bright natural light keep sharper memories and sleep almost an hour longer each night than those who don't. Sunlight also boosts vitamin D, strengthening bones and immune defenses that naturally fade with the years. Light, it turns out, is a daily vitamin for the brain. Free, abundant, and too often ignored indoors. The science is wonderfully simple. When daylight enters the eye, it activates special cells that talk directly to the brain's master clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus. That clock tells every organ when to wake up and when to rest. With too little light, the clock drifts, leading to daytime drowsiness, stiff joints, and that mental fog that makes ordinary tasks feel harder than they are. Add stale air and carbon dioxide buildup, and blood pressure nudges higher while reaction time slows. Two things no one over 60 wants as housemates. Luckily, brightening and airing a room doesn't require a contractor or a lottery win. Start tomorrow morning. Pull the curtains back, not halfway. If heavy drapes cover the lower panes, trade them for sheer panels so sunshine can pour in while privacy stays intact. Give the glass a quick wipe with vinegar water. A thin film of dust can cut daylight by 30%. While you're there, unlatch the sash and let a fresh breeze sweep through for 5 minutes, just long enough to replace musty air without chilling the room. Angle a mirror opposite the window to bounce light deeper inside, and slide your favorite chair a foot or two closer to that bright patch. These tiny moves cost nothing, yet they repay you every single day. Let me introduce you to Elaine from Ohio, 72 and a retired librarian. Elaine loved knitting by the TV but complained her shoulders ached and her spirits drooped by mid-afternoon. We tried one modest experiment. She moved her easy chair 2 feet closer to the bay window, swapped blackout drapes for oatmeal-colored shears, and hung a thrift store mirror above the sofa. Within a week, she told me she was finishing her scarves faster, nodding off before the late-night news, and, my favorite part, waking up grinning because the morning light was the first thing she saw. One gentle shift in daylight changed the rhythm of her entire day. Remember, you don't have to flood every corner of the house at once. Open one window, clean one pane, shift one chair, and let the sun do the rest. Each extra ray of light is a quiet invitation to breathe deeper, think clearly, and savor the simple joy of another bright morning. Let today be the first of many days you greet the dawn instead of dimming it, because your home and your spirit deserve to shine. And I'm right here cheering you on. Secret 2. Keep things tidy and minimal but cozy. Imagine walking into your den after breakfast, coffee in hand, only to set it on a stack of old magazines because every side table is crowded with catalogs, half-read mail, and knickknacks that seemed harmless when you first placed them there. You shuffle around the ottoman, careful not to bump last month's puzzle board, then sink into your favorite chair, shoulders sighing before you do. Many of us call this living. Souvenirs from grandkids, coupons we might use, treasures from vacations long gone. We tell ourselves the clutter is proof of a life well loved. But what if that pleasant jumble is quietly wearing you out? Researchers at Princeton found that visual clutter forces the brain to work overtime, draining focus and boosting stress hormones much like background noise. That mess you hardly notice may be why you misplace your glasses, feel your heart race when the doorbell rings, or fall asleep restless. Clutter doesn't make a house a home. It scatters the mind. Here's the simple biology. Every object in view competes for a slice of attention. The more slices claimed by stuff, the fewer remain for balance, memory, or conversation. Add tight pathways, and the risk of tripping jumps nearly 30% after 65. Minimalism isn't about living in a stark gallery. It's about freeing mental space so the pieces you truly cherish can shine. So, how do we tidy without stripping away warmth? Try a 2-basket evening. After dinner, take 1 basket for donations and 1 for items that belong elsewhere. Spend 10 minutes, set a timer, clearing only the coffee table and chair arms. For each object, ask, does it serve me daily? Does it bring real joy? Does it need to stay here? If the answer is no, drop it into a basket. Fold spare blankets into a cedar chest, tuck remote controls in a shallow tray, and watch surfaces breathe again. Layer coziness back in with intention. A single quilt draped over your chair invites afternoon naps without swallowing the room. A beeswax candle in a neutral holder casts gentle light and a honey-soft scent. A tiny pot of rosemary on the window ledge offers greenery and a calming aroma. Fewer objects, richer experience. That's Danish hygge in action. Eileen from Oregon, 75 and recently widowed, thought winter darkness was draining her spirit. We toured her living room and spotted piles, fabric scraps, receipts, birthday cards spanning a decade. Over 3 weekends she trimmed down to 1 memory box per grandchild, donated duplicate baking tins, and cleared a path wide enough to dance should she ever feel like it. The result stunned her: deeper sleep, steadier steps, and a revived urge to invite neighbors for tea. If parting with sentimental pieces feels daunting, photograph them first. A digital album lets you revisit priceless memories without filling every shelf. Keep 1 physical item that tells the story best: Grandpa's pocket knife, the seashell your daughter found in Florida, and let the snapshot handle the rest. 4 heirlooms worth passing along. Label a legacy box, so children and grandchildren understand these belongings carry history, not clutter. Maintain the calm with a gentle rhythm. Monday mail sort, Wednesday recycle run, Saturday 5-minute floor sweep. Light instrumental music, a favorite podcast, or even a phone chat turns these micro chores into pleasant rituals rather than burdens. The goal isn't perfection, it's breathing room. When your space is free to breathe, so are you. Tonight, choose 1 surface, 1 shelf, or even 1 drawer to liberate. Tiny victories build momentum, and soon your home will feel lighter, your breathing easier, your memories brighter against a calmer backdrop. Keep what sings to your heart and let the rest find a new home. Your future self, steady on your feet and peaceful in your thoughts, will thank you. Secret 3. Use natural materials and neutral colors. Picture this: late afternoon sunlight spills across your bedroom wall, but instead of glowing warmly, it bounces off glossy paint and a busy floral comforter, leaving the space feeling restless. Your eyes wander from bright red pillows to a polished plastic lamp, and your mind never quite settles. Many older adults accept that jittery sensation, eye strain, mild headaches, even a faster heartbeat, as just another getting older quirk. Yet often it isn't age at all. It's the hard, synthetic surfaces and loud colors silently overstimulating the senses. So here's a gentle challenge. What if the tension you feel while folding laundry or paging through your novel isn't coming from inside you but from the surfaces around you? Studies from the University of Minnesota show that rooms finished in neutral earth tones and furnished with wood, cotton, and will reduce cortisol, the stress hormone, by up to 30%, especially in adults over 65 whose eyes are more light-sensitive. The reason is surprisingly straightforward. Synthetic dyes scatter harsher wavelengths, while plastics and vinyl off-gas volatile organic compounds, VOCs, that irritate aging lungs. Neutral colors and natural fibers reflect softer light and release almost no irritants, creating an atmosphere where muscles relax and breathing deepens. Here's how to bring that organic calm into your own home without turning it into a cabin in the woods. Start small with anchor pieces. Swap a shiny side table for a simple oak or pine one. Oak's subtle grain draws the eye without shouting, and the wood's natural tannins even help purify indoor air. Drape a cream-colored cotton throw across your sofa. Cotton wicks moisture and allows skin to breathe, perfect for midday naps. Roll up the synthetic area rug and unroll one in jute or wool. The textured weave massages bare feet and dampens sound, a gracious gift to aging joints and ears. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Choosing colors. Imagine the quiet palette of a beach in early morning. Sand, driftwood, sea-washed stone. Warm whites, gentle grays, muted taupes, and sage greens reassure the brain that no sudden change is coming. Paint one accent wall in soft clay beige. Leave the rest white to keep the room bright. Replace the bright blue curtains with linen panels the color of oatmeal. Instantly, the window feels larger, light diffuses more evenly, and your eyes relax instead of darting across contrasts. Let me tell you about Frank and Louise, a New Jersey couple in their late 70s who loved their memorabilia-packed living room but dreaded dusting. When Louise's allergy flare-ups became constant, we tried an experiment. They traded plastic photo frames for walnut ones, replaced a glass coffee table with a reclaimed wood trunk, and painted the raspberry red accent wall a gentle mushroom gray. Louise sewed new pillow covers from unbleached cotton muslin. Within a month her inhaler stayed on the shelf, and Frank joked that the room felt like breathing in a park. Their grandchildren now sprawl on the wool rug building forts. No itchy skin, no static shocks. If an all-out makeover feels daunting, adopt the one-touch method. Each time you clean, touch one synthetic item and ask, could I replace you with wood, cotton, or stone? Maybe it's a plastic lotion bottle. Transfer the lotion to a simple glass jar. Maybe it's a neon acrylic throw. Donate it and choose neutral fleece. Each swap is a vote for calm, and the ballots add up quickly. Remember, natural materials and neutral colors don't erase personality. They frame it. Grandma's quilt pops beautifully against a sand-colored wall, and your navy blue service cap will command attention above a fur mantle. Let the quiet backdrop amplify the stories you love. Begin with a single wooden end table or a pair of linen pillowcases tonight, and feel the room exhale right alongside you. Your eyes, your lungs, and your heart deserve the peace that only nature, in all its subtle hues, can provide. Secret 4. Create small cozy corners for relaxation. On chilly afternoons, have you ever found yourself drifting aimlessly from the kitchen to the living room, cup of tea in hand, but never quite settling anywhere long enough to enjoy it? The TV hums, the phone buzzes, and somehow a peaceful pause slips through your fingers. Many people over 65 assume this restlessness is just part of retirement. Too much time, not enough to do. Yet what if the real problem isn't the hours you have, but the fact that your home offers no true invitation to stop and breathe? Neuroscientists at the University of California have discovered something called restorative microspaces, tiny pockets where the brain's default mode network can reboot in as little as 5 minutes, lowering blood pressure and sharpening memory. Their research shows that older adults who retreat to a dedicated nook even twice a day report 25% less fatigue and significantly better focus when reading or knitting. In other words, your mind and body crave a clear signal that it's safe to power down for a moment, and sprawling open rooms seldom send that message. They're built for multitasking, not for deep exhale. Creating a cozy corner is delightfully simple, and you don't need to remodel the house. Start by choosing a spot that already feels halfway comforting, perhaps beside the bedroom window where morning sun pools, or near the fireplace that crackles on winter nights. Pull a favorite chair into that patch of light. The chair should hug you but still let your feet rest flat on the floor. A gently curved wooden rocker from the 1970s often beats a brand new recliner because it encourages an easy rhythmic sway that soothes the vestibular system. Place a small side table within arm's reach. No bending, no stretching, to hold tea, crossword, or medication. Lay a textured cotton throw across the chair back. Running your fingers over the weave offers a form of tactile meditation proven to calm racing thoughts. Lighting matters. A low wattage lamp with a warm LED bulb mimics late afternoon sunlight without glare, perfect for eyes that tire quickly. If you enjoy scent, set a single beeswax candle or a tiny diffuser with lavender oil on the table. Studies from Johns Hopkins show that familiar, mild aromas signal the hippocampus to file away worries for later. Finally, add one living thing: a potted pothose, a vase of grocery store daisies, even a goldfinch feeder outside the window, because a glance at something growing reminds us that rest and renewal belong to every creature. Let me share Ruth's story. Ruth is 78 and lives in Des Moines. After her husband passed, she told me evenings felt hollow, even though the house was full of photos and well-meaning texts from the kids. We carved out a nook in the unused dining room bay, her late husband's maple armchair, a quilt she'd stitched in '92, and a narrow bookshelf holding poems by Mary Oliver. We hung a battery tea light lantern so she could skip the overhead glare. Within a month, Ruth's daughter called, astonished. Mom was sleeping through the night again and sounded like she'd flown south for spring. Ruth said the corner made her feel visited, not by people, but by warmth. Here's the key: protect your corner's boundaries. Let the coffee table collect mail if it must, but keep the nook sacred. No charging cords, no paperwork you need to get to later. Think of it as a tiny cabin inside your house. Step in, and chores stay outside the door. Spend 5 minutes there when you first wake up, another 10 after lunch, and a final spell before bed with soft music or birdsong. Those short sessions stitch together into a quilt of calm that covers the whole day. So tonight, slide that chair, light that lamp, and claim a pocket of peace that's yours alone. Your heart will slow, your thoughts will line up like friendly ducks, and the world outside can wait while you simply rest. Small corners, big difference, because serenity shouldn't require square footage, only intention. Secret 5. Decorate with candles and warm lighting. When the sun slips below the horizon and the first cool hush of evening settles in, many older adults instinctively reach for the overhead switch, flooding the room with bright white light that feels more like a dentist's office than a comforting home. You might tell yourself it's simply practical. I need to see where I'm going. Yet notice how your shoulders stay tense and your mind keeps racing long past the nightly news. But what if the buzzing restlessness, the stubborn blood pressure numbers, even the trouble nodding off at 10 aren't because of age at all, but because your house never truly signals your brain that the day is winding down? Researchers at Harvard Medical School have shown that exposure to harsh blue-white bulbs after dusk suppresses melatonin production by up to 40%, delaying natural sleepiness and nudging nighttime blood pressure higher. Conversely, amber-toned light, especially from a flickering flame, cues the body's internal clock that darkness and rest are near, lowering heart rate and soothing anxious thoughts. Our ancestors spent millennia ending each day by firelight. Our nervous systems still recognize that glow as a safe invitation to relax. Bringing that primal warmth back into your own evenings is both gentle and delightfully simple. Begin by dimming or turning off ceiling fixtures after dinner. Instead, cluster 2 or 3 beeswax or soy candles on a stable tray in the living room. Beeswax burns with a honey gold hue and releases negative ions that bind to dust particles, subtly cleaning the air, a welcome bonus if you have sensitive lungs. Choose wide, low jars rather than tall tapers to reduce spill risk, and trim the wicks to a 1/4 inch so the flame remains calm. Position a sturdy glass hurricane around each candle to corral heat and prevent a stray sleeve from catching. Then place the tray on a coffee table where you can see it but won't bump it. Layer in 1 or 2 warm LED lamps fitted with 2700 Kelvin bulbs, the kind labeled soft white. Aim the shade toward a wall so the light bounces instead of glaring directly at your eyes. This indirect glow fills corners without fighting the candle's gentle dance. If you prefer a switch at your fingertips, pick up a dimmer plug. Dialing the lamp down after sunset mimics dusk's gradual fade, whispering to your circadian rhythm that bedtime lies ahead. Let me introduce Sam and Gloria from Asheville, both in their early 80s. They loved reading mysteries aloud to each other after dinner but complained of headaches and jitters that lasted until midnight. We swapped their overhead CFL bulbs for dimmable amber LEDs and placed 3 small beeswax pillars inside antique mason jars on the mantel. Within a week, Gloria's sleep tracker showed she was falling asleep 25 minutes faster, and Sam's evening heart rate dropped 8 beats per minute. He jokes that the candlelight turns their plain ranch house into a mountain lodge, cozy enough that their teenage grandson now puts away his phone and joins them by the fire's glow. If you worry about open flames, consider battery-powered, real wax candles with gently pulsing LEDs. They won't scent the room or ionize the air, but they cast the same amber gold tone without heat or smoke. Pair them with a few drops of lavender essential oil in a waterless diffuser to replicate the calming aroma of a spa. Close each evening with a quiet ritual. Light the candles, dim the lamps, and take 5 slow breaths as the room softens around you. Let the glow settle over favorite photos, polished wood, perhaps the quilt you stitched decades ago. Warm lighting doesn't merely illuminate objects. It gathers memories under a gentle spotlight, reminding you that you've earned this hour of rest. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. So tonight, trade the sterile glare for a constellation of soft flames and amber glows. Watch how quickly conversation deepens, shoulders loosen, and sleep tiptoes closer. Your home deserves the hush of twilight, and so do you. 1 candle, 1 calm heartbeat, 1 peaceful night at a time. Secret 6. Choose multifunctional, practical furniture. Have you ever tried to set up a card game on the coffee table, only to discover the jigsaw puzzle from last week still sprawled across its surface? You slide the puzzle aside, reach for a folding TV tray, bump your knee, and wonder why such simple pleasures feel like a juggling act. Most of us shrug and say, that's just life in a smaller space, especially after we've swapped a family home for an easier-to-manage condo. But what if the constant shuffle, the stubbed toes, even the aching lower back aren't really about square footage at all? What if they're signals that our furniture is working against us instead of for us? Occupational therapy researchers at the Mayo Clinic have found that after age 65, every extra bend or reach we perform in daily tasks raises fall risk and fatigue. Yet the same study shows that multifunctional pieces, items that shift purpose with a flick or a lift, cut those risky motions by nearly 40%, keep walkways clear, and even improve posture because they eliminate the awkward lean and grab dance we do around single-use furniture. In short, practical, shape-shifting pieces act like silent personal assistants, saving our joints and our energy so we can spend both on things we enjoy. The good news? You don't need to toss everything and start from scratch. Begin with 1 room and ask, can this piece serve at least 2 roles? Take the living room. Trade the low, bulky coffee table for a lift-top model that rises to lap level. Suddenly the same surface becomes a dining tray, laptop desk, or puzzle board, no more hunching forward. Slide out drawers beneath keep remotes, chargers, and coasters tucked away, so tops stay clear and tripping hazards disappear. Next, consider an ottoman with hidden storage. Inside you can stow blankets, magazines, or those hand weights for morning exercises. When guests arrive, that ottoman doubles as extra seating or a soft footrest, saving you a trip to the hall closet for folding chairs. In the bedroom, a bed frame with integrated drawers eliminates the need for a separate dresser, freeing precious walking space around the bed, a crucial detail when nighttime trips to the bathroom are unavoidable. If you craft or sew, look for a drop-leaf table that collapses to the width of a loaf of bread yet opens into a generous workspace when inspiration strikes. Mount locking casters underneath so you can roll it to the window for bright daylight, then tuck it against the wall afterward without heavy lifting. Let me share Harold's story. Harold, 76, lives in Tucson and loves model trains. His spare bedroom was so packed with hobby boxes and an old guest bed that he could barely turn around. We swapped the standard bed for a simple Murphy unit. By day it folded upright, revealing a flip-down workbench attached to the underside. Now Harold rolls out his train layout every morning, works standing or seated on a wheeled stool, then folds the whole scene away in 2 minutes flat. Not only did he reclaim the floor, but he reports his knees ache less because he no longer stoops to sort parts on the carpet. "It's like my room learned new tricks," he laughs. And so did I. Choosing smart furniture is also choosing independence. A drop-arm sofa can transform into twin guest beds without wrestling a sagging pull-out mattress. A console table with nested stools invites grandchildren to color beside you, then hides the stools when playtime ends. Every dual-purpose piece rewrites the story your house tells, from "mind the clutter" to "what would you like to do next?" Tonight, pick one frustrating item, a wobbling end table, a chair that's rarely used, and imagine its clever replacement. Measure the space, set a modest budget, and hunt for something that flips, lifts, folds, or stores. One practical upgrade plants the seed. Soon your whole home will feel lighter, safer, and more exciting to live in. Remember, furniture should adapt to your life, not the other way around. Embrace pieces that pull double duty, and watch how swiftly they gift you back time, comfort, and the freedom to enjoy every corner of the place you call home. Secret 7. Bring nature indoors. You pour your morning coffee and glance out the kitchen window, hoping for that spark of freshness to start the day. But the view is mostly driveway and siding, and inside, the only green comes from the label on a cereal box. You tell yourself it's no big deal. You'll catch some air on tomorrow's walk, once the weather cooperates. Yet by mid-afternoon you feel oddly drained, your thoughts as stale as yesterday's bread. Most folks chalk that listless mood up to aging or cabin fever, but what if it's really a silent message from your senses, begging for a little slice of nature right here at home? Here's a gentle twist on the usual thinking. Maybe the fog in your head and the tightness in your chest aren't about your age or the square footage outside your door. Maybe they're about how few living things you invite indoors. Researchers at Texas A&M found that older adults who kept just 3 small houseplants within sight lowered their systolic blood pressure by an average of 5 points and reported a 20% bump in daily energy. Another study from the Journal of Environmental Psychology shows indoor greenery reduces the stress hormone cortisol faster than 10 minutes of deep breathing. The science is elegant. Plants release oxygen, trap airborne toxins, and radiate a wavelength of green that calms the visual cortex. Even a humble pot hose on the counter can act like a miniature forest, coaxing your nervous system out of fight or flight and into all is well. So how do you bring the outside in without turning the living room into a jungle you can't manage? Start with the rule of 3s. Choose 1 leafy plant for height, 1 trailing plant for softness, and 1 blooming or fragrant plant for a pop of delight. A waist-high snake plant beside your recliner filters benzene and formaldehyde, chemicals common in carpets and old paint, while requiring only monthly watering. A pothose or heartleaf philodendron can drape gracefully from a bookshelf, thriving even in indirect light. For fragrance, try a small pot of rosemary in the kitchen. Brush the needles with your thumb and you'll release a scent proven to sharpen memory. Place plants where you naturally pause, beside the coffee maker, near the TV remote, on the bathroom windowsill. So every glance becomes a microdose of calm. Meet Clara from St. Louis, age 80. Clara spent winters feeling restless inside her ranch house, convinced Missouri's gray skies were thinning her spirit. We began with a single spider plant on her breakfast table. Within weeks she added a peace lily by the sofa, then swapped dusty silk flowers for a real African violet on her nightstand. Clara now tracks her step count and her watering days on the same calendar. She jokes that the plants reply when she chats with them, but here's the kicker. Her daughter noticed Mom's evening blood pressure readings dipped enough that the doctor trimmed a medication dose. Clara says the greenery makes the walls breathe. If soil feels messy or mobility is a concern, try water-grown cuttings in mason jars. No dirt, just clear roots swirling like living art. Prefer zero maintenance? A bowl of river stones with 2 sprigs of lucky bamboo will thrive in nothing but water for years. And don't overlook seasonal bouquets from the grocery store. Drop a handful of aspirin into the vase to keep blooms perky twice as long, turning $10 into 2 weeks of color therapy. Finally, give your new green friends a simple routine. Water on Wednesdays, rotate pots halfway each Sunday so growth stays balanced, and wipe leaves gently with a damp cloth once a month to help them breathe. Each act is a mindful pause, a chance to notice life unfolding quietly beside you. So go ahead, open a window to the forest without ever unlatching the front door. Let chlorophyll-rich leaves polish your air, steady your heartbeat, and brighten your mood. When nature moves in, the whole house exudes a soft hum of vitality, reminding you that growth and renewal have no age limit. Plant one seedling, or one sturdy snake plant, today, and feel the living difference tomorrow. Secret 8. Display meaningful memories. You've probably got a shoebox, maybe 3, tucked away in a closet, filled with black and white photos, high school diplomas, and postcards your kids mailed from summer camp. Every so often you promise yourself you'll sort them one of these days. Yet years slip by and the treasures stay hidden. Meanwhile, the living room walls display generic prints that never spark more than a passing glance. Most of us assume that stashing keepsakes protects them from damage or dust. But what if burying your past is quietly starving your present of joy, connection, and even sharper thinking? Here's a question that turns the usual logic upside down. Could the foggy moments, the pangs of loneliness, even the nagging sense of time moving too fast be eased simply by bringing your own story into view? Psychologists at the University of Chicago have found that older adults who engage in reminiscence cues, objects or images that prompt storytelling, show a 15% boost in short-term memory tests and report lower feelings of isolation. Our brains light up when we see familiar faces and places. Those sparks strengthen neural pathways the way light exercise strengthens muscles. The science is beautifully straightforward. When you glimpse a wedding photo, neurons in the hippocampus, the brain's memory center, fire in patterns linked to that day's sounds, smells, and emotions. Those signals travel to the prefrontal cortex, improving mood and decision-making. Even better, sharing the story with a visitor releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone that calms blood pressure and steadies the heartbeat. Meaningful objects aren't clutter. They're daily vitamins for the mind and heart. So how do you put memories on stage without turning the house into a chaotic museum? Begin with the 3x3 gallery. Choose just 9 items, 3 photographs, 3 small objects, 3 written keepsakes. Spread them on the dining room table and ask, which ones still make my chest rise with warmth? A grinning snapshot from your first road trip, Grandma's porcelain bird, the ticket stub from the '69 World Series. Let your pulse, not a decorator's rulebook, decide what stays. Next, designate a single shelf, sideboard, or 2-foot stretch of wall as your story spot. Use matching frames in neutral tones so the memories, not the hardware, take center stage. Place the tallest item in the middle and work outward, keeping everything at eye level so you're invited into the scene every time you pass. For 3-dimensional pieces, try a shadow box with a hinged front. It keeps dust out but opens easily when you want to point out Grandpa's navy stripes to a grandchild. Slip handwritten recipes or a love letter behind UV protective glass to guard ink from fading. A small LED picture light overhead bathes the arrangement in gentle warmth, turning memory into quiet evening theater. Walter from Boise, age 79, used to complain his grandkids never asked about the old days. His hallway held a single modern canvas. His stories stayed locked in that shoebox. One winter he built a memory wall. His father's harmonica, a photo of his 1957 Chevy, and the telegram announcing his return from Vietnam. The next family visit, his teenage granddaughter stopped in the hallway for 30 minutes, peppering him with questions. "I didn't know you played music," she gasped, then begged for a tune. Walter now practices the harmonica twice a week, and beams that his hallway offers stronger Wi-Fi for conversation than any router could. Finish your display with a simple ritual. Once a season, rotate one item. Swapping in a new postcard or medal refreshes the brain's curiosity loop and keeps colors vibrant. If you worry about dusting, use a soft paintbrush once a month. 5 seconds of care for decades of memories. So tonight, pull down one dusty box and let a single keepsake see daylight. Mount it where morning sun can greet it, and you, with gentle pride. Your memories deserve to breathe, and so do you. When your life's milestones stand in plain sight, every glance becomes a heartbeat of gratitude, every visitor an eager audience, and every day a fresh chapter in a story still joyfully unfolding. Secret 9. Keep the home clean with smart storage solutions. It's a familiar scene. You reach for your reading glasses on the kitchen counter, only to find they're buried beneath a pile of unopened mail, keys, and a stray pair of gloves. You set them down just for a moment, and then spend precious minutes searching the house later, growing frustrated and tired. Many older adults accept these little chaos moments as part of aging. It's harder to keep up, or there's just too much stuff. But what if the clutter and misplaced items aren't just annoyances but quiet threats to your safety, comfort, and peace of mind? If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Here's a fresh way to look at it. A tidy home isn't about perfection. It's about creating a calm environment that supports your independence and well-being. Studies from the American Occupational Therapy Association show that smart storage solutions reduce falls by improving clear pathways and make daily tasks easier and less stressful. When everything has its place, your mind can relax, and your body moves more freely. Crucial as balance and agility naturally change over time. So what makes storage smart for seniors? It starts with accessibility and simplicity. Choose furniture with built-in drawers or shelves that keep everyday items within easy reach but out of sight. For example, a bench with a hinged top can store blankets or shoes without cluttering floors. Clear plastic bins with labels let you spot what you need quickly, avoiding the strain of digging through boxes. Hooks placed near doors for keys and coats prevent the endless "where did I put it?" game. Consider vertical space. Tall shelving units or wall-mounted racks free up floor area, making rooms feel larger and reducing tripping hazards. Use drawer organizers to keep small items like medication bottles, reading glasses, and stationery neatly separated. A rolling cart can corral supplies and be wheeled from room to room as needed, perfect for crafts or kitchen prep. Let me tell you about Jean, a 75-year-old artist from Portland. Jean struggled with arthritis and found bending to retrieve paints from low cabinets painful. Together, we installed pull-out shelves in her studio and added a pegboard on the wall to hang brushes and scissors. She placed labeled baskets on eye-level shelves, so everything is right where she needs it. Now Jean spends less time hunting and more time painting. Her studio both beautiful and functional. Maintenance matters too. Set a weekly reset routine. 10 minutes to return items to their places and clear surfaces. Playing your favorite music or podcast can turn this into a soothing ritual instead of a chore. Remember, smart storage isn't about hiding your life away. It's about arranging your space so life flows smoothly. Tonight, pick one clutter hotspot, a kitchen counter, a bedside table, or the entryway, and add one simple storage solution. Maybe it's a decorative bowl for keys, a labeled box for mail, or a small shelf near your favorite chair. These small steps build on each other, turning disorder into harmony and frustration into ease. When your home feels organized and welcoming, your spirit follows, and every day becomes a little brighter, a little lighter, and a lot more joyful. Secret 10. Develop daily habits to care for your living space. Every morning, as you sip your coffee or tea, you might glance around the room and notice a stray sock, a stack of newspapers, or dishes lingering in the sink from yesterday. It's easy to think, "I'll get to it later," or "a little mess doesn't hurt," especially after decades of busy living when things didn't always stay perfectly tidy. Many seniors accept these small clutter moments as part of daily life, believing it's too much effort to keep everything spotless. But what if these tiny, overlooked habits are quietly shaping how you feel? Your mood, your energy, even your sense of calm. Here's a fresh perspective. Cultivating simple, daily routines to care for your living space isn't about perfection or hours of cleaning. It's about creating a gentle rhythm that nourishes your mind and body by surrounding you with order and peace. Studies from the University of California show that people who maintain consistent daily habits around their environment experience lower stress levels and improved sleep quality. When your home feels cared for, it sends a powerful message to your brain that you are safe, capable, and supported. So, what do these daily habits look like? Start small and easy. Each morning, make your bed. A quick act that instantly transforms the room and gives you a small sense of accomplishment. After breakfast, wipe down the kitchen counters and put away any dishes to keep surfaces clear. Dedicate 5 minutes before lunch or dinner to tidy one area. Whether it's folding a blanket, organizing the mail, or clearing a tabletop. Evening can be your reset time. Unload the dishwasher, straighten pillows, and open a window for fresh air before settling in for the night. These few minutes add up to a home that feels inviting and manageable every day. Let me share about Grace, an 82-year-old retired teacher from Minnesota. Grace struggled with fatigue and often felt overwhelmed by household chores. We worked together to create a simple schedule: morning bed making, midday quick tidy, and evening kitchen reset. She paired each task with something she loved: a favorite song during kitchen cleaning, a cup of herbal tea while folding laundry. Within a month, Grace noticed she felt calmer and more in control. Her home became a sanctuary, not a source of stress. Consistency is key, but be gentle with yourself. Some days will be easier than others, and that's okay. The goal isn't to be perfect, but to honor your space and, in turn, honor yourself. These daily habits become rituals of self-care that keep your home and your spirit healthy and vibrant. Tonight, choose one simple habit to start. Maybe it's making your bed right after getting up or clearing the dining table after dinner. Celebrate the small victories and watch how they ripple through your day. Caring for your living space daily isn't a chore. It's a gift you give yourself, wrapping each moment in calm and comfort. Over time, this gentle rhythm will transform your house into a home that supports your best life every single day. As we wrap up this journey through the 10 Danish secrets to transform your home forever, I hope you feel inspired to see your living space not just as a place to pass the time, but as a true sanctuary that supports your well-being and joy every day. These simple yet powerful ideas, bringing in natural light, embracing cozy minimalism, surrounding yourself with nature, and creating little corners just for you, are gifts that honor your life story and your needs now. Remember, you don't need to change everything overnight. Transformation happens one small step at a time. Maybe tomorrow you'll pull back the curtains a little more, or clear off that cluttered side table. Maybe next week you'll add a candle or bring home a new plant. Each gentle change invites calm, comfort, and happiness to settle in. Your home is your haven, a place where memories live, where your spirit rests, and where your heart feels safe. By choosing furniture that works for you, displaying treasured keepsakes, and caring for your space with daily rituals, you're not just decorating. You're nurturing your well-being and independence. So take a deep breath and look around with fresh eyes. See the beauty waiting to be uncovered and the peace ready to bloom. Your home can be the warm embrace that welcomes you at the end of every day. Thank you for joining me. If these Danish secrets have touched your heart, please share your favorite tip in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more ways to live fully and joyfully after 65. Here's to your home, your comfort, your joy, your forever sanctuary.